Hey everybody, welcome back to Build at Home. I'm your host, Brittany Jones Cooper, coming to you from my home in New York City. Yes, I'm still here. I'm really excited to be chatting with today's guest, Dan Bucatinsky. But first, I want to remind you guys to visit nokidhungry.org. A lot of kids depend on school for food, and because of cancellations, there's a lot of communities in need. In fact, as of today, 574 million meals have been missed due to COVID-19 related closings. So if you're looking for a way to help, if you want to donate, visit nokidhungry.org. And now I want to welcome Dan. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Hey,
Where are you?
I'm at home in Los Angeles, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell me, how many weeks in are you into your social distancing? Who are you with? And just what's the general vibe?
Help me! I'm in captivity. I'm 4 weeks through. Let's see, 13th to the 13th. My
Yeah.
daughter's 15th birthday was the 13th of March, and I think by Sunday, 14th, it'll be a solid month tomorrow.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, and it's homeschooling and making do with being at home, and we're taking some socially distant walks around the neighborhood, which we feel lucky to be able to do. I know in New York, it's my mom lives in Brooklyn, and it's been a real challenge
Mhm.
for her. But we are making do. We're getting to know each other better than we probably ever should. My own family, my husband and my two kids.
Your two kids are how old?
15 and 12 and a half.
Ooh, fun ages.
Really?
Yeah, I said it sort of like
When
that
do I,
for a reason.
when do I start to notice? No, we're actually, believe it or not, this is actually allowing us opportunity that we don't normally have
Mhm.
to fight like a family and make up like a family and play Monopoly and Rummy and cook and do Legos. And we feel fortunate because this is such a crazy time for so many. I'm really glad that you did that shout out to No Kids Hungry. There are so many organizations that are now
Yeah.
helping those who need it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody I talk to has an organization or a restaurant or something, someone close to them that they just want to like call out and take care of. And so
Yeah.
we're just doing our little part. And it's cool to hear about you doing that family time too. I've heard a lot of people that's sort of been the silver lining for sure.
Yeah. Yes. It's silver sometimes, and then it's other times it's like we're all being tested, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I have to say, I've been writing this out solo, and that was the best way for me. So I get what you're saying.
And connecting for you has got to be all on computer, which is also after a while must get really hard.
Oh, it's interesting. I don't know if I know how to talk to a person in person anymore. Like there's all these, normal social cues that I just haven't had the chance to exercise. So we'll see if I
Right.
can still do this job when
We'll
it's all
see
said and done.
what you're like in a month or two. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's been cool for me though. I've got to chat with a lot of different people in a lot of different places, including two of your co-stars
Oh, good.
for the Baker and the Beauty. So I've talked to Lisa and Victor.
Oh, good.
Um, and so this show I've been really involved in. It's been keeping me entertained. So thank you.
Of course.
Um, it
Good.
premieres tonight, right?
It premieres tonight on ABC at 10 o'clock. We're so excited. We were, as you know, we've been shooting. We shot for 5 months in Puerto Rico for Miami, but it's the entire cast speaks Spanish, and we had an all Puerto Rican crew, so we were really immersed in a kind of Latin vibe, which you can sort of see on screen.
Mhm.
And yet it really is a modern day fairy tale that a lot of people can relate to in that Notting Hill kind of way. I feel very fortunate to be a part of it. The Latin Cuban American family that owns the bakery is sort of on one end of the spectrum, and I play Lewis, the manager of Noa Hamilton, who's the beauty, and really the closest thing she has to a dad in her life. So it's the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of how we create family when we don't
Mhm.
have our own family. And the two worlds collide in the show over the course of the season in kind of a lovely way. And there's drama and there are laughs and there's dancing. And it's a lot of what we experience in Puerto Rico, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. In Puerto Rico, what was it like filming there?
It had its challenges. It's a tropical island, and we felt very fortunate to be bringing resources to Puerto Rico, especially given the
Mm.
they've had, including the earthquakes that we experienced while we were shooting.
Wow.
But it rains every single day, so we were always dealing with chasing the sun when it was there and chasing the rainstorms when they would come. But it was kind of lovely, and we became very, very close with our crew. And I felt very fortunate to be part of that Puerto Rican family while I was there. Lisa Vidal and I are very, very good friends, and we spent a lot of time together, and dancing and eating and enjoying life in Puerto Rico while we were away from our families. It was.
You mentioned dancing a few times.
Yes, we started dancing as a cast from the pilot. I'll tell you, we shot the pilot in Atlanta, and we were all staying in this hotel, and there was live music one night. I think the second night we were there, in the lobby, and the whole cast just started dancing in the lobby. And it really set the tone for this cast and this show for the entire 5-6 months that then unfolded in front of us, because we have been dancing ever since.
I love that, because it is such a family vibe, right? The story really is, like you said, there's two parts. There's a celebrity part, but it really is this really close family. And I love watching that dynamic play out. So it's cool to know that behind the scenes, you guys are sort of forming that vibe there.
Oh yeah, I had major FOMO about the scenes that they were shooting as a family. I loved my cast so much, but I didn't appear on screen with them except once, which will happen later in the season. But the world of Noa Hamilton was really played by Natalie Kelly and myself, her manager, and Georgina Riley, who plays Piper. And we are a very tight-knit group that are sort of protecting the world of Noa. And there's something very interesting about the starkness of that world as it comes into contact with the warmth and the vibe of this very close-knit working family from Miami. They're basically a small business, which, again, we were talking about the coronavirus, and there's so many small businesses out there that we should all be supporting them, because it's such a difficult time. But I keep thinking about the Raphael's Bakery in the show, because it's just a small family-owned, Cuban bakery, which gets to see the benefits of just a simple post on Instagram about their business, and it really shows you how these two worlds colliding is going to play out.
Yeah, and you mentioned Notting Hill, and the premise is sort of like that. But what I love is that typically we see rom-coms in a movie.
Yeah.
So the storytelling is very limited. And because we're now in the series, I love that we have time to really kind of dig in to the background of these families, of these characters. I mean, that's just something really cool about the show, was we're taking the rom-com, but really sort of expanding it.
It is. It really is genre bending. I mean, there really are no shows. The show's a little bit of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's a little bit of Notting Hill. It's a drop of Entourage, certainly with the world that I play in the show. But what's great is the pilot, which airs tonight at 10 o'clock, is so, I don't know when this is going to air, but
today.
Today. Okay. So tonight at 10 o'clock, the pilot airs, and the pilot takes place in one night in Miami. So it plays out like a mini rom-com movie. And then the next episode starts to unfold in a way that gets everybody very invested in each of these characters. And over the course of the season, we really get to know them. And they become grounded, complicated, flawed characters that make you not necessarily know who you're supposed to be rooting for. And I love that in a show.
Yeah, I love it so much. I've watched the first 2 episodes, so I know exactly what you're talking about as we shift and get more into the stories. And it's so much fun.
You kind of don't know who to root for. And, coming off of a show like Scandal that I was on, you wanted to root for everybody on Scandal, but were afraid that everybody had it in them to kill. So this is a very different genre, but I certainly am hoping that the Scandal fans come out and watch this show.
Actually, your character was the one that I could honestly, I feel like, truly root for, because he always had pure intentions. The rest of them were
I think
trash.
James brought on to show that humanity can still exist in a character.
He certainly tried. So what are you most looking forward to for fans tonight and watching The Baker and the Beauty? Yeah.
It really plays as escapism. I mean, I know for myself that in this difficult time with so much uncontrollable variables outside of us, I'm constantly finding myself craving these really kind of fantastic stories that take me somewhere. And this show takes you both to the comfort of a warm, grounded family, but also takes you on this sort of fairy tale fantasy of what would happen if the regular guy were to meet his fairy princess. And I think it's exactly the kind of thing people are looking for right now. And I'm hoping people find it a comfort.
Yeah. And it might inspire some people to slip into their favorite celebrities' DM and just shoot their shot, you know?
You never know. This could be the inspiration for people to realize that anything is possible.
Why not? It's now or never, YOLO. I have to ask, what else are you watching to escape or keep yourself entertained?
Well, I am watching a lot of different things all over the map. My family as a group, because, we differ in ages. So we are enjoying many different things. We are catching up on a show that my old co-star from 24 Legacy is in, Teddy Sears. We're starting from the beginning and watching all of The Flash, which again, a total fantasy, My daughter's in love with Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, which is so much fun to watch. My husband and I have devoured Unorthodox on Netflix, and of course Tiger King, which it's almost a cliche to say that we've enjoyed as well.
I know they just released like an 8th part, I think, yesterday.
I know, but again,
and I haven't checked it out.
People are craving worlds that are so far from anything that we can sort of sink our teeth into. We are looking for escape, and I feel like those are examples of them as well.
That is the perfect way to put it. We are looking to be transported since we can't really move. The Unorthodox, that's what I need to watch. I've heard that from 3 different people now. Again, you're the 4th.
Totally from The Baker and the Beauty, but a very, very dramatic and very interesting look at a world that most people have never had the curtain peeled back on for, so.
Wow.
But The Baker and the Beauty really peels back the curtain on celebrity, as well as gives you a look into this really realistic, warm Latin family. And it takes you somewhere. It takes you to Miami at in a really warm way. So I'm hoping it provides the escape that those other shows are also providing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the timing, if it's going to come out now. And like I said, I've checked out the first 2 episodes. I was transported. It was super fun. Yeah. And I love the cast more than anything. I love the chemistry you guys have. So congrats on the show, Dan.
Thank you so much.
Everybody watching, you heard him. You can check out The Baker and the Beauty when it premieres tonight on ABC. You said 10 p.m.?
10 p.m.
All right, we'll see you there.
We'll be live tweeting, so follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Instagram, and we will be talking to the fans while we watch.
Awesome. I'll see you on Twitter. Thank you again, Dan. Take care. Stay safe.
You too. Bye.
Bye.